Good evening. Woke up about 20 minutes ago. I'm jammed up. I'm just jammed up in my mind. How do I get you to believe this? The part of the way that our worlds are pulled together is almost like pulling in a boat. Okay? There's only one hookup, okay, in the core and the spirit. And the boat needs two. So it goes like a loop from one end of the boat, around the 5, all the way to the other end of the boat. You can regard this like looking at the 6, like I told you, and put an extra dot in the center. I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to skip over and just show you something. Has anybody heard of the Dairy Queen? Okay, DQ. Well, you see this Q over here at the bottom? Those cut corners, okay, come from a square. It's first a square. You cut the 4 corners, okay? You cut the 4 corners of a square, and you get the stop sign. You cut the stop sign in half in the center, okay? And you get the letter D with the cut corners. You add the letter R to the letter D with the cut corners, because this is man's world, and that's why they're cut. And that's why sometimes the R is short, and that's what makes the resh in Hebrew, okay? So when the corner's cut, it makes a D, and at the same time, if you put back a corner, you get a Q. So now you have DQ. Now, how did you create all this? Well, it's pretty simple. Now look back at this. I put 2 triangles, one at the top, one at the bottom. It looks like an owl. His head, his 2 eyes, and his beak. Okay, you put that back together, okay, and you have the amazing hexagon and an octagon, and something you don't all know, you have the quadrilateral shape, which is a shape of 4. So when you put these 2 D's back to back, if you want, up in Mont Tremblant, I think there's a Bonnie-Soir with all these shapes outside. This whole building near the roof is shaped exactly like what I just drew here. The other thing I want to say is, where does Omega come from? What's Omega? God doesn't just give a name and not give a shape or a color or anything else. Okay, I want to show you what Omega looks like. Yeah, you see that little man? The reason why it's not the round Omega that you usually see, which is like a 5, 7, and 2, and here you only see 52, that's why you see the fancy writing. Look at that 2 in the bottom right, the way it's slanted. This is the way these old stones are all written in red. Eventually the 2 rounded out. Okay, but anyways, the reason why it's not hooking up any higher, this Omega plug, okay, is because just on the line on the top where it says Sec A, that's where the 5 position is. So I want to puzzle that with piece together right there. That's why it's like that. Oh, I believe you, I'm telling you. I know there's another world. Okay, one of the other ways, how can I explain this? Here, take a cigarette, okay, and we're going to take some paper. I'm always rushing through this. And imagine this, okay? Here's the cigarette. The cigarette is the 5-hole. Now here's the boat on this side, okay? And here's the boat on this side. Now, what the boat represents is the hookup for the new world, okay? So I have to show you one piece at a time. Look at the boat. I connected here and here, which really makes, you put a line across to straighten it, makes the alpha and the heartbeat, okay? But if you look at it, it creates the W, it creates the Greek style 3, it creates all kinds of stuff. That's pulling one world together. Now you go ahead and you have to pull another world on the top of it. So now you got these 2 worlds like this, with a church steeple in the center, okay? And that's the world. But there's 4, because there's 2 worlds here, okay? I'm not sure exactly how it works, the 2 worlds. I do know that one of the worlds is represented by the spirit for man, and I guess part of the spirit is represented for the natural universe that surrounds us and that we live in. Because the earth we live on is real. People who we are, the water inside of us, is real. but from the earth we are made of is real. Everything is real. Is real. The rice, we are just a little rice, okay? Is rice ill? Is rice ill? Israel. Don't you see how they got Israel? It's real, it's real, it's Israel. I'm not taking one side. He gypped me. It was a gyp. It was a gypsy. An Egyptian. A gypsy. The first one. You know what I'm saying? Lebanon. Lebanon. Born on Lebanon. Special birth. What else is out there? Turkey. That's very funny. Turkey's a chicken. Turkey runs away. Turkey is 3 strikes. So I can probably put together something for everything in this world. Why? Because I'm creative. It's not that hard. But you know what? If I can create it, God already created me. So therefore, whatever's in me is coming out of whatever God created. His knowledge is our knowledge. Our knowledge is almost His knowledge. And anyways, you pull the 4 worlds, the 2 worlds together of 4. Okay, why? Because God is 2 worlds. Trinity that connects them together. Alpha, beta, man. Alpha, beta. Okay, that's 6. But there's also an alpha, beta, okay, for the world that turns. 8. We have 8 major directions, all 22.5 degrees. 22 is light, 5 is the spirit number. Okay, we end up with this all around the clock, whichever way we turn it, whatever we do. When you hit 45-degree angle at 22.5 degrees, you're on 3 sides. You're on your side, you're on their side. You're on 3 sides in the 3 worlds. It's very simple. When you pull the worlds together, I'm just going to show you what happens. Because the dice goes up on its side, the top one, you'll see a square dice sitting straight. You'll see one that's tilted. Well, that box is when the 4 worlds get together, and all we do is go along those lines in a figure-8 motion. Now, the thing is, you always ask, how come the 8 has that indentation in it? Well, don't you remember why the 8 has the indentation? Because it's between 2 worlds. That indentation on the 8, okay, I'm going to try and draw this up if I could before this cassette ends. We're at 7 minutes, which is quite okay. And you have to remember Alexander Ovechkin, okay? The egg, the O, the Ovechkin. Anyways, I'm still drawing this, and okay, I want to show you that this is the 8. Okay? Now at the same time, when I draw an 8 next to it, okay, I just drew part of it. It turns out to be a 3 or a B. If you want me to finish it off, we have 138. And that 138 is the Indian reservation, if I'm not correct, okay, or 132, the Indian reservation on the south of Montreal. They're directly inside of that world, and they speak the truth, because these numbers I take are only the numbers I created, okay, from the lights of day 1 of man 1. I don't make these things up, they just come out. They're just there, they're natural, they were made to be, to cut them out of many stories, and these stories will make one story. If you keep pulling out 138, 138, 138, fine. If you pull out, okay, 64 and 74, 64 and 74 is 138. 64 is the number of Zion, because the words that are spelled create 64. How do I know and what's my proof? It's because a 1 carat diamond is 64 million whatever, and the diamond is what, if you've noticed in any of my designs, the diamond is what is the dead center of everything. The diamond is that dice, is our world standing up on that 45-degree angle. They also have diamond rings, which comes out from connecting the 6s. Okay, the Fox, the Volkswagen Fox, like I showed you. Okay, here's your V. Here's your V, and here's your W for your Volkswagen Fox. You see the Fox, okay, is 6 for man, the O for the birth of the female, okay, and the X for the X-man of who we are. We are the X, we are the O. We are the business God's business. That's why it's an F for man. God's business. Fox, 6, 15 equals 21. X is 24 equals 45. The 45 happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all added up. The game we played was the game of the fox. The cunning fox. Now you know why it's a cunning fox? Because we have to walk along these lines. These are the worlds pulled together. You see that X cuts up into 4 divisions? Okay? We were walking the pound key. Okay? But now we're no longer walking the same pound key anymore. There's only 4 blocks. But those blocks are like the pound key. Okay? And they're split up in 2 divisions. That's why the H and the 8, okay, how am I going to show you this? 2 divisions. Yeah, here, I'll try and show you. We walk on those ropes of the 8. The indentation is saying that we're walking east and west. The 2 O's together, there's supposed to be a division, and there is a division you don't see, because it's the marking of the pencil. It's the pencil that makes the division, walking between the 2 worlds. The other worlds are inside those bubbles. We're not inside those bubbles. We're not in the other worlds. That's why there's a separation when I draw it, and there's so many ways to draw it. Okay? Those indentations are from the stops. Okay? There's 2 sides. Our world is a stop and go world. Okay? We stop and we go. Now I have to explain to you why we stop and we go, because number 1, the world is also this way too. Okay? Here's 2 eggs, love, going around in 2 circles. Separate those 2 circles. There's only 1 circle. It's each. This is one world. This is the other world. In between, she turns for us. Okay, so they can't turn the same way. So we get an 8 this way, and we get an 8 this way. Now, I don't know if you know my magic heart. You know my magic heart? The magic heart? Well, now I'm going to take and make another heart. You see the 2 hearts? That's 2 hearts. It creates 88. It creates the diamond center with the 4 corners. The worlds were pulled together. Now that the worlds were pulled together, what we do is we now have the 4. I'm jumping ahead of things, but I'm assuming we have that 4 by 4. We're now taking up the lines count for something, and the empty space counts for something. You know the in-between? Let me show you one thing. You see this rectangle here? Well, this is how it works. This is the rectangle. That's the 4, 5, 6 that goes between the 8. The bar you don't see. The emptiness between the 2 worlds. Because I left out that line, there's no connection. I have to put that line in there. And now those 2 round circles is all you see is the digital dots on the clock. Okay? Now what time would it be? Would I say it was 8:31? Could I have turned that 3 around to the other side and it would have been 8:31? Well, I don't know about 8:31, and this is, it's tough to explain to you how, what you have is, you put a square here, you put 4 squares. I'm going to try and show you. Okay. You got 4 squares here, okay? Now, the square is worth 1, the empty part is worth 1, you have the tic-tac-toe 9. Well, what I do, okay, is I join them all together, and I put a 3rd box on top of it. Now I have a 3rd box, okay, which is a complete 0, which holds in 4 squares, okay, and the other world on the other side. Do you understand what I'm saying? I put the box in, I unified the space, and I unified the squares. The Quebec flag, unifying space in both squares of what is called time-space, and in the empty space of life in which we create inside of it, which is also a time-space, because we run out of time. So what happens next is, these 4 squares, okay, are pulled like this. You see the 4 squares, the 4